Welcome to Unified Infrastructure Manager, or UIM, Logmon Probe Training for Administrators. This course will cover the following broad topic areas: an introduction to the Logmon Probe, where we will cover why we might want to use this tool. We will go over the basic operations that this tool can be used for. We will then review the user interfaces, both the FAT client and the web interface. We will then delve into the pattern matching and regex used in this tool. And next we will cover some examples, use cases, and see examples of how this tool could be used. Some of the things we will not be covering in detail in this training are deploying the probe manually or with MCS, internationalization, enabling FIPS compliance, monitoring command output, monitoring URLs, nor monitoring UIM queues. These will be covered in later training sessions. This course will be divided into several videos. In this video, we'll take a look at why you might want to use this tool and go over some basic operations that this probe can be used for. Why would someone choose to use the Logmon probe in their monitoring environment? The Logmon probe is one of the most versatile probes to deploy and start monitoring in your environment. The Logmon probe is like the Swiss Army knife of monitoring tools. At the very basic level, Logmon will monitor a target source, and when a string is found, send an alarm. This can be enhanced to collect and send quality of service or QoS information, such as the number of times a string is matched, or capture numeric data and populate custom quality of service information for reporting. The probe can automatically generate an alarm about an error situation immediately after it has occurred. It can filter out the log entries that need manual action, or you can set up profiles to generate alarms only for important messages matched in the target source. It also allows you to specify enhanced alarm messages by modifying the original string text. This flexibility allows you to locate and resolve issues with greater ease. The Logmon probe is most commonly used to monitor ASCII text files. These files can be line-oriented Unix or Windows files, logs that applications write to, or even record-oriented log files that some databases create. The probe can also be used to monitor the output from a command or script. An example of this would be monitoring a remote system with the ping command and sending an alarm if the latency is too high. You can use the probe to monitor the output from an HTML page when used in conjunction with the URL response probe. Or you can even use the probe to monitor custom UIM message queues to check for custom problems and generate alarms. There are many things the Logmon probe does well or exceedingly well. However, there are a few things the Logmon probe is not the correct tool for when monitoring. Below are some examples. This is not an exhaustive list, but some of the more common ones support gets asked on a regular basis. The Logmon probe uses pattern matching and regular expression to see a pattern is found. Where it is possible to write a regex statement to check for something that is not present, it is usually extremely complicated and resource intensive to execute. Logmon out of the box does not natively support checking for something that does not exist. As of the writing of this training, Logmon does not have a way to check for a number of matches per time period or over a period of time and then send an alarm. Currently, it will by default send an alarm each time a match is found. The Logmon probe can use pattern matching in the directory and log file names, which we will cover in detail later. However, if the directory contains a very large number of files, the probe can run into problems processing them all and consume large amounts of resources. This usually happens when the number of files gets above 1,000 files needing to be scanned at a single time. Support has seen issues when the target file gets to be above 2 gigs in size, where the probe can start to use a lot of resources and slow down. It is suggested that monitoring of log files be kept to under 1 gig if possible. The Logmon probe uses several methods to check where to read next in a file. If a file is recreated, the Logmon probe will always start at the beginning of the file. Some applications will recreate a log file daily but put in old information. Logmon will see this as new information and send alerts for this information that was contained in the old file and also contained in the new file, thus creating duplicate alarms. Another question support gets very often is, does Logmon work with forms authentication? The short answer is no. As forms authentication is using a custom login page and method to start the login process, this currently is not possible with the version of tools used in this training. In order to collect information, the Logmon probe allows you to create a profile with the following types of information: what file or source target to monitor. This can include wildcard files, directory names, URLs, or a command to run. How to monitor the target, such as scan the entire file each time, read from the last location when the file is updated, read the output of a command, or read the HTML output from a URL. What to look for in the target source, what pattern are you looking for to send an alarm on or capture quality of service for. How to report the match found in an alarm. What to do if a match is found, such as send an alarm, capture and send quality of service, or run a command to take corrective action. The Logmon probe profiles monitor information using a combination of three types of rules which are processed in the following order. Format rules identify the required text in a record-oriented multiple-line log file. The probe limits the search within specified expressions using format rules. Exclude rules define the lines with a matching expression that you can exclude from monitoring. The watcher rules define the condition to monitor in the target source. The probe searches for the required string in the text using the watcher rules. You can define multiple watcher definitions to extract different messages from the target source, or specify different criteria for the same message. You can also define variables that allow you the following options: extract only a part of the message, define positions criteria such as column or character position to extract variable values, identify messages within a block of lines, and restrict the watcher rules to the active formatting definition. The probe skips format rules and excludes rules if they are not defined, as they are not required. For more detailed information about this product, click the information bubble in the top right corner to load the product page. From there, you can visit product documentation, support, communities, and see the learning paths available.